All right, so we just saw our soca warriors, win their match against St Kitts Nevis convincingly, 6-2, and we have a lot of reason to celebrate, and I'll get into that soon. But I think first I want to start by saying speedy recovery to the player from St Kitts who, well, I saw the game online, and when they showed the replay over and over, it seemed like he may have definitely had some damage to his right leg. Because, I mean, I was getting comments from people who were at the game, and everybody, I mean, it's a festive time. So everybody just kind of, oh, Alvin Jones, Dragon Man, and he going through. But it really looked like he did have a serious injury. So speedy recovery to him, and I hope all goes well soon. So back to the game. When we saw the lineup, we played 4-4-2 this time, and we knew that this was a very attack-minded game. We knew that we were trying to get a lot of goals. Obviously, if you start with Levi on top, you have Dante Sealy, who had a fantastic debut, came out with a brace. Could have been more, but he was a pest, killing them down that line. Terry Spicer, who I know does a lot of good work down the left-hand side and was pressuring the defender. I actually told my wife that, hey, he's one of the better players, but there were some points where it was kind of average, and she was highlighting, you sure that is the best player? And so I had to do some convincing, but he did enough so that she thinks he's an okay player. So well done, Tyrese. There are a lot of little things that I want to get into, but I don't even know where to really start. I want to say firstly, the mixtape that they made, especially for this game, the shortened version and the long version, I've been listening to that all day today because I just get up with that sense of excitement that we're going to course it tonight. And I predicted we were going to win 6-0. I really thought it would be 6 clear, but it then ended up being 6-2, and I'll probably get into that point in a while why it was 6-2, probably not 6-0 or more. As I say, the wingers, quick. As they get the ball, they know what they're about. They're very intentional. Sealy was running at them. Spice was running at them. So, good. And Levi being a target man on top, he came and he showed. Unfortunately, he scored one alone. And shout out to Josiah Trimmingham on that too, because most people may not realize, but that first goal, he did the work. Josiah Trimmingham pulling the defender and leaving the net open for Levi, who couldn't miss, I guess, at that point. But it was a well executed free kick there. Unfortunately, we fell into the old saying of you don't score and I will score. We got the penalty. We had 2 penalties in the game, which again is brilliant playing because we figured out that they were coming in hard and we put ourselves, I think one was Dante, the first one. He put himself, and the second Molino put himself between the player and the ball, and the player just went through them, and we got the penalties. Levi probably was looking for his brace early in the game, missed that penalty, probably dropped our head for a little bit because obviously it was a big chance, and they came back and they immediately scored, tied the game, and then he scored right after. It's like whatever you all could do, we could do better. So Dante came and he scored his goal and brought it back to 2-1 at that point. I don't really want to get too into the negatives as yet, so go into that part just now. Not negatives, but critiques, constructive criticism. Daniel Phillips, again, always Mr. Consistent. The man working in the middle, he doing all the little things, the tidying up, the distributing. The man good. That's as much as I can say. The man good. And he was doing it again throughout the game. Our MLS players, as I say, they got a showing tonight. Talk about the two who played on the wings. Then Ajani Fortune came in, made a difference. I'll get into that point just now. Wayne Fredericks got a run, I think like 4 minutes, but I mean, it's your debut and it have a lot happening in front, and the winger Dante Sigli was doing well, so I guess it might have been hard for York to take him out before that. Alright. Again, 6-2, 3 points. Right now we're on top of the table. Fantastic. Celebrate the moment. Enjoy today. Probably even enjoy tomorrow. But I definitely think the happiest people coming out of this game would be the Costa Ricans. And I will explain why in a little bit, right? We missed several goals. We won 6-2. This game could have easily been 10. There could be a possibility that we go down to goal difference. And I really hope that doesn't come to bite us in the end. Because, as I say, our next game is Costa Rica. Nobody has scored on Costa Rica as yet. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis have to play Grenada. And Grenada could possibly leapfrog us if they have a massive, massive game. So yeah, I want to go back to our next game. And why am I a little bit worried? Because our defense, I just pointed out there, was non-existent tonight. It was horrific. The defense, as I said, was stagnant. Rampy, who is our defensive mid, he played defensive mid. He looked lost on the field, Andrew Rampersad, and he's such a better player than that. Alvin Jones looked like he just didn't want to have the ball at all. Typically, down in the end, because, as I say, we brought on Ajani, he brought on Natty, who were running. So, and they were already down by about 3 or 4 goals. So he kind of showed. But when it was 2-1, 2-all, the defense was trash. Daniel Hospitalis gave away the free kick for the second goal, which they scored. There was a potential call for a penalty because he went through somebody again. I keep hearing people say that he's a good player, and I know he does well in the JPL, and the JPL is a very physical league. So I don't know if because of that, he brings that physicality here, and some referees not going to stand for that, and he gives away too many free kicks and fouls and infringements and things like that. Coach made a right decision and changed him and brought on Andre Raymond, and Andre Raymond, being the professional that he is, stifled all the attack again down that right hand side. So there wasn't really much happening down that side in the second half. I mentioned Andrew Rampersad. He came off. Ajani Fortune came on and immediately made a difference, because he took the ball, and instead of looking back or looking lateral to pass the ball, he ran with the ball and then gave Kevin Molino the chance to get into the box and get the penalty, which was at the start of the second half, which then brought us back to 3-2. After that, we saw the game change. The middle, Daniel Phillips had the outlet to give to Ajani, who was running and spreading the ball. Again, Tyree Spicer, Dante Sealy, and they were doing the work. Then Nathaniel James came on. And Nathaniel James is such an underrated player for us because he is always hungry. Every single time he touches the ball is because he taking it from wherever he is on the field, because he was actually in the middle of our half when he got the ball. And previously, if I was Rampy or that was somebody else, they would do about 2 or 3 touches, spread the ball, which is fair and is a good ploy. But he is a direct player. He turned and ran with the ball. And I remember there was, I think the first time Dante Gilbert, I know there's going back a few games, the first time Dante Gilbert scored for us, he said that he knows Natty is that type of player. When Natty get the ball, he runs with it and he knows to put himself in position, which is exactly what Ajani Fortune did. He saw him come in, he went across, pulled the defender with him, and guess what? Opened more room for Natty. So then another defender had to drop in on Natty, and he had impeccable timing. Pass it off to Ajani Fortune, and well, Ajani Fortune scored. So all around, I would say that this is probably a B performance if I had to rate it in any way, because we have a lot of firepower moving forward and we have the potential to score lots of goals and to make the game exciting. I don't know what for the life of me our coaching staff looking at when it comes to defenders, because Sheldon Bato, okay. Josiah Trimmingham, like him as a person, he plays a solid game, but he plays a slow game. As I said, our next game is Costa Rica. Let us not fall into a sense of, okay, we there and we doing it, because if we continue with that, and this is just a warning, we have Costa Rica, then we go into the Gold Cup, we have USA, we have Saudi Arabia, and we have Haiti. Those are our next 4 games. I know it's separate tournaments, but it seems like we kind of using the same people. Please, let us start scouting defenders. I don't know what's going on with Aubrey David. Haven't heard, haven't seen him, not making the team. Well, yeah, as always, I took some notes just to make sure I don't forget stuff, right? And everybody who knows my page knows that I've done videos, and a lot of videos, on potential defenders that we could get now. Actually, there are defenders that we have now. We have the Leland Archer, we have the Luke Singh, and I don't know why they're not making the team. But if we are serious and looking to move forward, we need defenders. The local defenders are okay sometimes. We need professionals who will give us all the time, because we have seen even tonight that the guys who play in the JPL, solid defenders, physical defenders, some referees not taking that. What they may be playing out there in the JPL and allowed to do, some referees in some tournaments, yeah, they're not going to understand for that. And trust me, if we want to make it, you have to understand the referees you're playing with. You have to understand what you could and can't do, because, as I say, Josiah Trimmingham, solid defender, slow defender. Costa Rica, we always know, pace, quick transition, love to run directly. So if you think Nathaniel James for us does it well, which he does, just imagine Costa Rican players running at our defenders with that same pace. So again, Thanks that we did it tonight. We got 3 points. We celebrating tonight. But let's not get swell-headed at all because we have a lot of work to do still. So this is just my post-match comments. Haven't heard anything from the coach. Would really love to hear what he has to say, and I know we'll hear that soon. Yeah, so go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and let's celebrate the win because we had a dominant performance. Despite what we know could have been better, we had a dominant performance. We had a full crowd, which again is something I should have mentioned before. That 12-man support is fantastic. Watching from here in the US, was so pleasantly surprised to see so many people, and I could just imagine what the party wise was like. I really missed out today, but whole day today I was listening to the mixtape. So shout out to whoever make the mixtape, DJ Brightstar and whoever else. Good stuff. I really enjoyed it. I hope we have our next one coming out soon because we have games. We'll definitely be looking for that. So tell me in the comments what you think. And I know I'm doing this a little bit late. That's because my daughter was a little bit excited with the game too and didn't want to fall asleep. Yeah, tell me your thoughts, and as usual we'd always talk in the comments and see where we could improve the football. Yeah, let me know.